Well, this is fun. Excitement is building for a partial solar eclipse passing over the Pacific Northwest this week. Tomorrow morning, the moon will pass in front of the sun, eclipsing almost 90% of it in some areas. This is called an annular solar eclipse, and it creates a ring of fire effect around the sun, like you see right there. And here to talk about how to safely view this eclipse and what else is coming up in NASA is NASA expert Noah Petro. Noah, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, we're a little worried about the forecast. It might be a little too cloudy up here, but there are some sun breaks expected. So this weekend's annular solar eclipse, can you tell us what we're going to see?
Yeah, well, so, if you have clear skies in Seattle, which I certainly hope you do, you'll be treated to a partial eclipse. And so, as you said, about 90% of the sun will be covered by the moon. This is a great opportunity to get outside tomorrow morning, and we're effectively one day away from this, right? So at this point, counting down the hours until you get treated to a partial eclipse. For some folks who are going to be across a swath of the country, you'll get this annular eclipse, this so-called ring of fire eclipse, where the moon will cover almost the entirety of the sun, but not quite, just leaving that beautiful ring of fire.
Okay, now just like you shouldn't look directly into the sun, you should not look directly into the eclipse. So how can viewers safely see this and do it so they don't hurt their eyes?
Right. So if you're fortunate enough to have a pair of these safety glasses, solar viewing glasses, use them. I put them on right now. They are so effective, I cannot see the bright studio lights that I'm surrounded by here. And so what these do is allow only the faintest amount of sunlight through so that you can safely view an eclipse. Now, you might have at home a pair of really fancy sunglasses you're really proud of. Those are not going to cut it. Those will not protect your eyes from the power of the sun. You can also do indirect viewing methods, create a pinhole projector. I've got a postcard here with a very small hole in it. You let the sunlight shine through and project onto another surface, and you can allow that sunlight to project through and see just the small crescent shape of the sun on the surface that you're projecting onto. If you have a colander in your kitchen you use to strain your spaghetti, everybody loves spaghetti on a Friday night, so save that, clean it off, bring it out tomorrow morning, and you can use that to project little dots of sun onto another surface as well.
Well, that's really
interesting. If you go to go.nasa.gov/eclipse, we have a whole page dedicated to safe viewing. Our intention here is to allow people to enjoy this eclipse, but do so safely.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to hurt yourself here while you're looking at this. Now, tomorrow's Ring of Fire eclipse is the first of two solar eclipses that people in North America are in a prime location to view within the coming year. Tell us about the big eclipse happening in April of next year and how that's going to be different from what we're seeing tomorrow.
Yeah, the April eclipse is going to be a total solar eclipse, April 8th of next year. And the difference there is that the moon will completely cover the sun. So in this animation, you can see the difference. In a total solar eclipse, the moon completely covers the disk of the sun, and allowing you to see the beautiful solar corona. Folks may remember in 2017, we had a total solar eclipse as well. Seattle was a little bit more of a prime seat, although not through the path of totality for that one. And again, in the total eclipse, for those along the path of totality, which stretches from Texas up through Cleveland and through northern New England, we'll have the front row seat for this eclipse. Everywhere else in the country will have a similar partial eclipse to what some folks will see tomorrow.
And eclipses aren't just incredible events to witness, they're also scientifically valuable. In what ways does NASA study these?
Yeah, that's a great question. So eclipses allow us to understand how energy from the sun interacts with the atmosphere. So tomorrow during the eclipse, we'll be launching several suborbital rockets from northern New Mexico to fly effectively into the eclipse to understand how, when energy from the sun is shut off from reaching portions of the Earth's atmosphere, how does the atmosphere respond? Scientists love these natural experiments where we can effectively turn off the sun for a little while for a small portion of the Earth's atmosphere and understand how the atmosphere responds to it. So, we're used to a normal day, sunrise, sunset, solar energy comes in. But what happens when you turn off a little bit of that energy to a portion of the Earth's atmosphere? How does the atmosphere respond? And so we get insights into the dynamics of our own home planet through these wonderful natural experiments. Total eclipses allow us to understand the sun in a little bit more detail because we're blocking out all of that energy from the disk of the sun. So eclipses are really special, unique opportunities to understand our place in the solar system, which is the ultimate goal for lots of what we do at NASA.
NASA scientist Noah Petro. Noah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on. Enjoy the show.
All right, let's get to your weather here this morning. I do want to talk about that solar eclipse and kind of what we're expecting around the Pacific Northwest. So the partial eclipse begins at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Maximum eclipse, which will be about 81% here in Seattle, will occur at 9:20 in the morning. Okay, so now we look at that and we think, okay, how is the cloud cover going to be at that time? Well, one of our models here now giving us a little bit more hope maybe in Western Washington. It's kind of been going back and forth on us. This is at 8 o'clock, so right around when this starts. And as we get into around 9:30, look at this. So we're starting with our latest model run to see maybe a little bit more hope. I wouldn't hold out all hope, but we could see 50 to 60% cloud cover. We'll have to see. I think it's going to depend on where you are and if you get lucky in that moment. So just be prepared. Grab those glasses if you saved them from 2017. Dig them out. And if you get lucky where you are, you may be able to see that partial solar eclipse. Of course, then afternoon, the clouds roll in again. We're going to be looking at showers developing a little bit later on in the day.